All right. Welcome back to Two Stupid Guys Trade Stocks. I'm Vinny.
I'm Dylan. Today, what we're going to look at is it's not really a swing trade, more of a 2022 hold of which sector we think is going to be one of the best performing sectors in the SPY or Qs for 2022. So.
Okay. I like it. All right. If you guys enjoy this entertaining stock market content of Two Stupid Guys Trading Stocks, by all means, give us a like and subscribe below. We'd love to have you along on this adventure. With that, we'll get to it.
Two Stupid Guys Trade Stocks.
You know it's going to be good when they have crazy Auntie Cathie and Charlie Munger on the same image here.
Yeah. So I figured, these are polar opposites. I mean, granted, a lot of people are polar opposites from Cathie Woods. I just chose Munger because he just doubled down on Baba, so I like him more.
Yeah, I do too.
But what do you think her stocks are for 2022?
I mean, she's just doubling down on things she already owns. The Teladoc and Roku are recent additions. I think Teladoc has been the one she's been acquiring the most in because it's down so much. Roku's been down as well. Tesla, she's been still offloading a little bit, I want to say.
I think she's still been offloading, but it's still a higher percentage of her portfolio because she has so much of it.
It's still number one. And then
Palantir
is a love child, I think, of hers too.
Right. Munger, I believe, is WFC. I'm sorry, Wells Fargo. I was doing the tickers. Bank of America, Baba, and something else.
Yeah, he loves financials. Bought them back in that kind of lull after the 2008 housing crash there. So he's held that for quite a while, I want to say.
Yeah. All right. Let's look at some sector performance. Go to the next slide for me.
Yep.
So this is 2020. Okay. This is from Motley Fool. So they basically show you all the sectors within the SPY, and you can see their performance. You can see, energy sector got murdered, right? Because 2020 they had that whole oil problem, all that crap happened.
Now, pandemic.
Yeah. Traditionally, what they always say is if you have a good year one year, you're down the next year. I highly disagree with that because, I mean, you just look at the chart of the Qs for like the last 5 years.
Oh, so okay. I mean, yeah, the different trend, I would say.
I mean, technology sector is like up like 43%, all that stuff. And banks were down, what is that, 2%? Financial sector down 1.69, yeah?
Yeah, it's XLF is the ETF, I want to say, right?
Go to hit the next slide there. So this is 2021.
Okay.
So tech still up there, which I think we might take a little bit of a step back. You had 53% from oil, which seems like a lot, but when you're down like 40% the year before, it's like you were really up like not that much over a 2-year span.
Yeah, in reality, you're down, right? Because like you would take, in order to get back, you'd have to go up 80% to get back to that prior level.
Yeah, so it looks really high. The financial sector had a pretty solid year. I mean, they were also killed a decent amount, but tech still up there, all that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
in my opinion, this is Kiplinger. You can go to the next one. So this is Kiplinger's top stocks of 2022. Okay.
Yeah.
Now Kiplinger's not special. There's a million sites. They all have this thing. Okay. But there's a trend that I just wanted to point to. But I just found this list funny because is there a stock on there that you're like, why in the hell are they in the top stocks for 2022?
I mean, to me, I look more at this and I'm seeing what's the trend, and the trend here is cash flow to me. That's what I see when I look at this list. Applied Materials is not one I know too well, but
Applied Materials, just think of it, makes all the stuff for AMD and NVIDIA.
Yeah, okay. I knew the industry they work in, but I wasn't exactly sure like how profitable they are, that sort of stuff. But yeah, to me, like this is kind of cash flow, some consumer staple stuff with Coca-Cola and Altria and DuPont. Or is that a different DuPont?
No, that's the DuPont that ruined the world. That's
yes. Yeah, well, that sounds about right.
To me, Altria Group being on here was hilarious.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do well. They've been going down for like 40 years over time.
Yeah, but you buy them for the dividends because they make cash flow because cigarettes, people are addicted. You have addictive products like Coca-Cola too.
Right. So really this list doesn't matter, but the one thing that if you type in top 10 of whatever, there's a financial stock like in the top 5 on almost all of them.
Yeah.
Okay? because 2022, we already have 3 planned rate hikes that haven't happened and all the stuff that the Fed has to do to combat inflation. I personally think financials are going to kill it this year. There are a ton of analysts who, agree. They think financials are going to be at least a top 5 sector. What are your thoughts?
I mean, sure. The question is, how much of that is priced in already? To me, like,
Right.
you'd have to actually look at what each incremental change in the Fed funds rate has in terms of cash flow. Yes, it's positive, but I think you then have to take and determine how much that increased kind of interest rate income is going to result in, what sort of cash flow to investors, and then discount that back into a reasonable multiple. Yes, I know
Right.
I'm playing with this.
And with scissors. Don't do that at home, kids. Okay.
Like, I got to put that down.
So I wanted to focus on the financial sector for this video. Now we didn't do like he talked about cash flow, all that stuff. We didn't do really any numbers. We more looked at charts and what's the sexiest chart so far to set up 2022.
Interesting. Okay.
So I just looked up the top 10 holdings of XLF.
Okay.
There's one missing here, and it's actually the biggest holding. Berkshire Hathaway B.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. They're not exactly a pure financial.
They're not. And I don't have it in here just because, look, if when Warren Buffett passes, I know everything's already handed off and in good hands, all that stuff, but inevitably I think the stock's just going to drop just because he passes. And I don't want to, at least 10%. It's going to be a bad week. I don't want to be in a stock where it's hedging on a 95-year-old guy living for another year. I don't want to do that. So I took it out.
Understood. Yeah.
So here are your choices. All right. Let's go. What we're going to do, we're just going to quickly, very, very quickly look at these charts real quick. Go to the charts.
Yeah.
I'm going to do speed runs on these. All right. So Bank of America popped. A lot of them posted earnings this week.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a lot of volume here between this range. So honestly, I think that they are a very solid buy around a $44 range. Let me pull this up so we can go quicker.
Okay.
WFC, overvalued for where they're at. They were a great buy 2 weeks ago, right? That's a 20% jump. But it happened so quick. They haven't really been up here. Not enough volume has passed. So market makers are going to want to bring this down to at least, lower. I would say at a $50, $52 range, it'd be pretty solid.
Okay.
Schwab, same thing. Maybe $83 would be a better price, but I'm not buying anything right now. It's too expensive. So, okay, basically Wells Fargo, Schwab, too expensive is what I'm saying.
But would you put bearish bets on them? Are you that convinced?
No, I'm not. I would not push bearish bets on them. But
I'll trade anything.
For me to leave money, I don't want to buy it after it went up 15% in 2 weeks.
Understood.
Right? When they're expected to move 20 for the whole year.
Yeah. Looking at that chart, I kind of want to bet against Wells Fargo.
Yeah, it went up real fast.
Yeah.
This is hold on. Signature Bank of New York City. They are killing it over a year, obviously. They're going ridiculous. For me, if I'm going to put money in financials, I want to be able to sell covered calls on it. And I don't know a lot about this stock. So for me, they're just too pricey. Maybe if it hit 273, like the 200 moving average, I would do it. But too pricey for me. This is your favorite stock, Vinny.
Understood. Citigroup.
So this is what I call trash. Every other financial stock has been moving up and they're still tanking and they just can't get a luck. I'm not messing with this. I'm out.
Citigroup is like a forgotten stepchild, they the numbers make sense, but they can never get any traction.
Yeah, ridiculous. The funny thing about JPM, WFC, Bank of America, all those stocks, they all had pretty solid earnings.
Yeah.
Okay. Wells Fargo, as you can see, their chart went straight up, right? Really, the only difference in the earnings calls was Wells Fargo didn't say We have skeptical in 2022. We're not going to really know what's going to happen. It could be a little iffy. Wells Fargo just said, we had a great quarter, and just stopped talking. Their stock went up.
Yeah. Usually a wise decision.
Yeah. JPM, you know, I don't want to buy a stock that's falling that much, though I do believe they are quite oversold. It was to be more of a short-term opportunity. Same thing with Morgan Stanley. This is clear accumulation distribution. I don't want to mess with this. GS looked pretty sexy to me because they're right at my favorite indicator.
Yeah.
And they put up a solid hammer on high volume, baby.
Ooh, nice. I like it.
Now, this is too expensive for me to own 100 shares to do covered calls. But, you know, this could be a short-term looking swing here.
Yeah, but you could do like a call debit spread or a credit put spread in order to capitalize on this.
I'll refer to your expertise in how to do that part.
Yeah. I'll text you a trade later on Goldman Sachs and how I would play it.
Nice. Blackstone, I don't want to do it. It's below its 200 moving average. I'm out. So go to the next slide here.
Okay.
I have this summarized. BAC real sexy at 44. You know, Wells Fargo, that other, you know, New York Bank, Schwab, they all look solid, but they're too high. I'm not buying a stock that went up 15% in 2 weeks. It's not a good, especially if I'm trying to hold it for the year where I'm hoping for 15% for the whole year.
Yeah.
Like this is a stock I'm not trying to swing. It's something I'm trying to hold. City's trash. Don't like JPM or ES. GS looking sexy. That's what the other one. Those two green ones.
Okay. So that would be the two financials you trade right now.
Yeah. These are the ones I trade right now. I want BAC to still come down like, you know, 4 or 5%, which I think is more reasonable than those other three coming down 15%, which is why I chose those.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So now your job in subsequent videos is to come up with an evaluation for me.
I mean, each company would have to be done separately. That's the thing. You have to kind of look at, you know, how much of their income is being derived from your, you know, kind of what products. And then sometimes the company will actually flat out tell you that, you know, a 0.5% change in Fed fund rate equals an additional $1.2 billion in income for us, something like that. Sometimes they'll actually tell you that.
Schwab does.
Do they? Yeah. Yeah, I've seen financial companies do that before. They're hard to value compared to like kind of more traditional you know, companies, you know, where you're just looking at like this kind of cash flow. You can't really use that on financials.
Right. It's a specialty thing, which I have no idea how to do, which is why you're going to do 5 of those stocks. It's going to be a great time for you.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out. All right, guys.
Yeah. Those are my 2022 financial picks specifically.
All right. Yeah, I mean, definitely that chart in Goldman Sachs definitely looks sexy. So I'll take a look at what the options trade would be there.
Goldman Sachs and Bank of America are my 2. Yeah. Unless there's a big tank for Wells Fargo or Schwab, because then it's a more attractive. It's just not attractive this week, January 15th of 2022. Just right now.
Makes perfect sense.
So, yeah.
All right. We'll catch you guys on the next one.